Hello and welcome back to the Villa View for another Q&A after a 1-1 draw with Birmingham City and an upturn in form since manager Steve Bruce has come in. I'm joined by Dan Bardell as per usual, so make sure you get your questions in so we can answer them. A Must One Year is totally live and I'm currently in the student radio offices, so it means that anything could happen, quite literally, behind me, walking in or anything else. So welcome, Dan.
Hello, mate. You all right?
I'm all right. So first question is from Snapchat, of all things. That's the first time we've had one from that, and that's from Dan, who said, who do you replace for Adoma and obviously Jordan Ayew? Jordan Ayew being suspended after the Birmingham City game, but Adoma is a fitness state. So who would you actually play? To me, there's only two options in Jack Grealish and Ross McCormack.
Grealish is obviously going to come in, I think. But if we bring McCormack in and we're going to be keeping the same formation, I don't want to see him playing wide again because I think through no fault of his own, he wasn't really involved in the game. From right wing, I think I'd probably prefer to see him go as the lone striker and see Codger moved out wide because at least he's got a bit of mobility to play there. I think Grealish will definitely come in on the left. I think obviously you could bring Rudy in, but again, playing him as a lone forward, I don't really see the benefit in doing that. And then obviously you've got Agbonlahor as well. He'll probably be coming on from the bench, but yeah, I think it probably has to be Grealish and McCormack as it stands. Although we'd probably have to be tweaking people around a bit because I don't want to see him wide again. Yeah,
I don't want to see Gusted. I don't think that Gusted actually works for us at the moment. Apart from that, I don't think there's many options. I don't think Andre Green hasn't done enough yet to warrant a starting role. Gabby Agbonlahor isn't at full fitness. So for me, yeah, it's got to be Jack Grealish that's got to start alongside Ross McCormack in there somewhere. To me, Ross McCormack goes to the number 10 role with Jordan Ayew and Codger out wide on both sides, perhaps.
He's not playing.
I didn't say Ayew. I meant replacing Ayew.
Sorry.
So Sam has said on Snapchat as well that he thinks Andre Green is better than Jack Grealish. Right? Well, Dan, I'm taken back by that comment. I don't quite get that one personally. I haven't seen enough of Andre Green to even suggest he's on the level of Jack Grealish.
You must have watched a lot of under-21s and under-23s football because I've not seen anything that points to Green being better than Grealish for me. Maybe in the future Green might be a very, very good player, but I personally think it's probably a bit too early for him at the moment. I think out of the players coming through, probably Hepburn Murphy's the one who seems the most ready for first-team football. I think you can level that Grealish isn't a wide player maybe. Maybe you could say Green's more of a wide player, but definitely first team wise, Grealish is far superior to Andre Green and the first team front at the moment for me. I think it's a strange thing to say.
Yeah, I do agree with that 100%. I think that's quite a quick question that we can get through quite quickly. So if you have got a question, obviously comment below in the YouTube comments or comment to the right. So as well, we've also got a question from Instagram. It said about Gabby Agbonlahor from Max saying about his return. What do you think about it? For me personally, it's a tough one because I've always slated him and I don't think he deserves to be anywhere near the first team, but I'll always support what Steve Bruce wants to do. And if he thinks it's the right way to keep the squad harmonised, he's got 18 months left on his contract. He may as well try and earn that money. But for me, I'm unsure still about the idea of bringing him back into the first team fold when you've got the likes of Keenan Davis, Andre Green, who's been mentioned already, and Russian Hepburn Murphy, who all deservedly should get a chance over someone like Gabby Agbonlahor, who is unfit, who is overweight, and hasn't really done anything to warrant being back in that first team fold. Dan?
Don't sit on the fence, Matt.
I'm not.
I'm joking. It's difficult because at the moment I'm of the point of view where whatever Steve Bruce wants to do is okay with me. We've got to trust him that he thinks that's the right thing for Aston Villa Football Club at the moment. Admittedly, as I've said before, it was an absolute disgrace last season. He'll know it. Everyone will know it. The other players will know it. But if Bruce has said he's going to give everyone a clean slate, then if he sees Gabby as being part of that, then it's up to him, and we've got to support him whilst he's on the pitch. I thought he did okay when he came on. He ran around a bit, which is an improvement on previous efforts. But the main thing for him is if he's going to be involved, he has to get fitter because he looks nowhere near the condition he should be as a professional footballer. So this 6-week regime he's on, I'm not sure how far through that he is. He must be nearly halfway through that now. He needs to get his skates on and get fitter so that he can participate to a good level.
I'd love to know how he can post so many propaganda videos on Instagram of him doing fitness work, yet he's still overweight.
I didn't think he looked too overweight the other day. To be honest,
he looks unfit.
I've seen him look worse than how he looked when he came on Sunday. But he has to get fit if he wants to be involved, because I think probably come January. I mean, you can say we've picked up a couple of injuries and suspensions now. In January, we're going to be minus a couple of players with the African nations, so we could well need him. And I think he has got experience and he has scored goals in the Premier League. So you'd think if he gets himself right, he should hopefully score goals in the Championship, which is where we are. So I'm all for it if Bruce can get him firing, but I remain sceptical as to whether he will come firing again.
So you're not sitting on the fence either, though. People are saying Hepburn Murphy in the comments. I'd love to know. He hasn't been given a game time yet. Like, he came on against Newcastle and he looked quite lively. He did a few bits and pieces then, and since then he's been rather quiet. Yeah, he's not really had much involvement at times with under-23. So would you say he's on the cusp of being a player that's pushed into the subs bench potentially and past that in the next few weeks, into January, into December? I reckon so.
I thought he'll probably be on the bench on Saturday with the suspensions and injuries. I think the problem is for him is that we play a formation at the moment, and have done for most of the season, with one main striker and then two on the flanks. Has he got the frame to play on the flanks? I don't know. I think he's only ever really played up front. And are you going to chuck in a young teenager to play as a lone forward when you've got other attacking options? Probably not. So I think unless we change the system to two up front, I don't see how he's going to be starting games. I can see him coming off the bench as an impact player, but I don't think we will be changing formation to accommodate him. So it's difficult, to be honest. I can see why he hasn't been given a go, but I can also see why the people want him involved, because he's done well with the under-23s, which is all he can do really at this stage.
Just realised the cleaner is outside, so hopefully he doesn't come in. But anyway, the other one is Keenan Davis as well. He's a bit of a build, and he reminds me of a Tammy Abraham figure, so perhaps he could be an option as well later on, as well as Hepburn Murphy. But
again, is he going to come in and play as a lone striker? Probably not. Can he play on the wings? I don't know whether he's capable of that. I've not seen it. I don't remember ever seeing him playing as a winger.
Are we quick to write off our own youth, considering Tammy Abraham's a similar build to Keenan Davis, and he's come in younger than Tammy Abraham as well? I mean, Tammy Abraham's younger than Keenan Davis, yet Tammy Abraham's hit it off.
But doesn't he play with someone up front? Isn't he playing up front with Tomlin?
He's
got an experienced striker, and maybe if you've got McCormack playing off him, maybe that would work with
a similar build to Tomlin as well.
Yeah, but at the moment, the system we're playing, it doesn't really accommodate McCormack, and it certainly won't accommodate those youngsters either. I'm not writing them off, because I think especially Hepburn Murphy, could be a fantastic player. I mean, he could quite easily go the way of D'Alfonso, but he looks like he's got the attributes to be a top player. It's just whether he's got the attitude, but the system at the moment won't fit these players in. So long term, something will have to change for them to get a game.
Yeah. Lots of Birmingham fans apparently in the chat this evening. Lovely for you to have joined us today. We appreciate the love and support, because you are helping us make better videos by giving us views. So you really are helping the Villa View grow. So we love you dearly, just as much as every Villa fan and everyone else that watches our videos. So thank you for watching, even if it's comments. Will said on Instagram, is Alan Hutton improving? Well, I know Dan, that one. You wanted to tweet humble pie about him when I was on the fan cams the other week. But for me, Hutton will never improve, in the sense that he's hit his pinnacle now and he's on the decline. But to be fair, he's offered a bit of experience for us in the past few games, and I don't particularly like him, but I'm not too particularly worried anymore when he plays.
Well, I don't know about that. I think he played well against Fulham. I thought he did okay, and as I said, I gave him a 6 out of 10, that's a good score.
Fair rating, yeah.
Good score for him. He didn't do anything wrong, and he was fairly useful going forward. But then you watch him play against Birmingham. I know it's only one moment in the game, and to be fair, he did recover it. But it's just an accident waiting to happen. He'll switch off at that vital moment. And I think it was the Wolves game as well. He made a mistake and he switched off as well. You just know at some point he's going to do something stupid. I mean, we've been lucky that we haven't been punished for either of those mistakes in those two derby games, but he is always liable to have a brain fart And for me, we've got, although they're all injured, I think we've got 3 people who are better equipped to play right back than him. And I don't know how many years he's got left on his contract, but
18 months.
18 months.
Less than that. I think he's out of contract in the summer. Might be.
I think it might be next season. Actually,
it's one of the two, definitely.
He won't be about when that contract finishes. I'd be shocked if he ever got a new deal at Villa. But he tries hard. I'm not going to knock him too much like I have in the past because he does try hard. But as I've said, his brain farts concern me greatly.
Callum's asked on Twitter, who's man of the match for you on Sunday then? For me, it was Mila Jedinak. Got a lot of stick already this season for me, from me and a lot of fans. And he stepped up to the mark with a really classy performance on Sunday. And I think there's lots to come from that. Apart from his passing accuracy, was 43%.
Good average. I agree with you. Probably, I think Jedinak probably shaded Baker and Chester, who also had good games. I think the thing about Jedinak is he's improved, like a lot of people, since we've changed formation and gone to 4-3-3. So you're asking him to do a job that he's comfortable with. We're not asking him to play in the midfield too and have to do a lot of running. We're asking him to sit in front of the back 4, mop up, win balls in the air, win the ball back, give it to someone else. And that's what he's doing. So it just shows if you play people in their correct role and you get them to do things that they're comfortable with, they're decent players. And I think he obviously showed good leadership on Sunday by not letting Blues kick off when everyone else was celebrating with the away fans. So he's got a bit of nous about him. That's the kind of thing you need. You need a bit of character, a bit of leadership, and he offers that. Just if we're going to go with the midfield 2, I don't think we can play him because he hasn't got the legs, but keep him in that 3. He'll do a job for you every day.
Yeah. Special mention in Facebook, somebody said special mention of James Chester. Cheeky plug here, but I did write a blog saying he's the signing of the season. I think you possibly agree with that, Dan, that James Chester's been a superb buy for us.
I think he's been our best signing, and he looks like he's really at home since Steve Bruce has obviously worked with him before, has come in. He's really stepped up to the play. He's obviously taken the armband while Elphic's been out. I think him and Baker is a good partnership because it's kind of brains and brawn. Baker's obviously very big, very strong, very brave, gets himself in the way, puts his body on the line, and I think he has improved as a defender over the last few years. And obviously that loan spell last season with Bristol has done him good. But then you've got Chester, who complements him next to him. Okay, I'll keep talking. Unprofessional environment. Is Matt showing up girls?
It's what I've had on Trent TV.
Is he going?
Yeah, we want to get involved, but we don't know who to talk to.
Is that Cleaner or his girlfriend?
Have you got your phone?
Yeah.
I think it might be his girlfriend. I would carry on talking, but all I can hear is Matt chirping some bird. Anyway, back to Chester. I think he's probably been our best signing. I think he was cost 5-6 million. I think if you speak to any West Brom fans as well, they'll offer you surprise as to why he was sold, because they've got people like Jonas Olsen playing for them who's not very popular with their fans.
Told you that happened.
What's going on?
Told you that happened.
All over the place there.
It's a public area, isn't it? Things happen.
Sounded like you were chatting her up. I'm sure I heard mobile phone numbers bandied around.
No.
Okay.
I'm recruiting new members for comments saying I'm not. I can strictly say I'm definitely not doing that. I'm recruiting new members for Student Radio and giving them the Twitter for Student Radio so they can get involved with that. Anyway, back to the questions and where we're at. As you were saying, Dan.
I've done the Chester thing now. I've done it, yeah.
Oh, dear. Yeah. People are saying that Jordan Ayew split an opinion on Twitter. That's an interesting one for me because I must admit, I'm one of these people that did slate him as such a few months ago. But now I think he's settled down a bit and I think he's really knuckling down, which I appreciate a lot. And I think he's a really good player for us. So hopefully we've seen that the little spell that we had with him where he was poor. He's improved a lot since then and he's an asset for us. And to me, I'm going to say this, it might be a bit of a hard take to make, but I think he's in the top 3 players in the league. I think there's only players that are close to him at the moment, Dwight Gale and Anthony Nokia.
I think he's our best player.
Yeah.
This day, or certainly in our top 3 best players. Honest, I don't really get the stick that he's had. Okay, he doesn't smile very much, but to be honest, how many of us have smiled down Villa Park over the last few years? I know I haven't. So you can't blame him for not having a smile on his face all the time. I think he's a very, very good footballer, too good for the Championship. I admit he hasn't really taken the league apart like I'd hoped and thought that he would, but he's playing wide, which probably isn't his best position. He'd probably again rather be playing up front. He'll see himself as playing off a front man. I think if you asked him what his best position was, but I'm not sure why he splits opinion so much, because I don't think he's been dire by any stretch. I don't think he's reached the level potentially that he could reach, but he's definitely one of our top players and one of our brightest talents for me. Yeah,
I think he's really good. He doesn't pass enough is a point that some people are making, and I get that. He is a player that does have his blinkers on quite a lot, but when he does motor and he does create chances. But he is I don't think I've watched a more frustrating player at Villa Park this season than Jordan Ayew, and I don't think I have for some time. And I can see where people are coming from when they're angry with him, because he does frustrate people when he doesn't pass.
I can see that slightly, but I can't say that he's one that particularly frustrates me, because when he takes someone on, probably 8 or 9 times out of 10, he'll beat them. But I think his final touch has been lacking, in the sense of he's had a couple of good chances. He had the chance at the end of the Fulham game. I think maybe his end product at the moment is lacking, and maybe that's what's frustrating people. But on his day, he's a great player to watch, and to be fair to him, he was the only one that put in any kind of effort last season, so he'll get an easy ride from me probably.
Yeah. Jacob Fernall has said, what's the chance of promotion? Do you have any more chance now? He's picked up a few wins. I'm going to sneeze, Dan, so I'll let you answer that first.
All right. I'm repeating myself, because I say this probably nearly every show that we do. If I was offered 6 now, I'd snap your hands off. If I was offered 6 at the start of the season, I'd have snapped your hands off. I know it's Ginger Luke said that on Fan TV last night, copying me.
Stealing your lines.
Yeah, stealing my moves. And obviously we've got a better chance now, because we look a lot more solid than we did, and we've proved that we can go 4 games unbeaten, which I think is big for this bunch of players, because I'm not sure whether they thought that they were capable of doing that under Di Matteo. But obviously now we look a bit more astute. We've got a bit more about us. Bruce is very streetwise in this league, so 6 points off 6. There's absolutely no reason why we can't get promoted. But I'd say automatic promotion, I don't see that being on the cards, to be honest. And I think Newcastle are going to run away with the league. They look way ahead of everyone else. But on paper, I'd say we've got the strongest team and squad after Newcastle. It's just we've got a lot of work to do to move our way up the league. But I'm confident now that we will do it.
I'm 98%, still on 98%, saying we're going to go up. A few more questions then. Get a few more questions in before we do wrap this up for this evening, before I do get disturbed again. Somebody said about strengthening midfield in January. Where do we need to strengthen in general? Sorry, the question was, where do we need to strengthen? For me, the main area we need to strengthen is a backup goalkeeper. I think that's an important one for us. Dan's thrown at that one, but I think the major area is midfield for me. I think we're a bit lightweight in midfield. I don't know who I'd really look at for midfield, but I'd actually try and get Conor Hourihane from Barnsley. I don't know how tough that'd be to get him, but I reckon we could probably get Conor Hourihane. I think he'd be a really good player for us. Very good player in this league.
I'm not sure about your backup goalkeeper.
I think somebody needs to challenge Bellini a bit, because I don't think Mark Bunn offers it.
I know, but we've got Jed Steer. I'm not understanding.
I'd love to know where he is.
Why he isn't on the bench, because is Bunn really gaining anything from being on the bench every week at his age? Probably not. Jed Steer is more likely to be gaining experience on the bench. If we're not going to use him, we may as well loan him out somewhere, but I guess we don't want to loan him out to a Championship rival, and he probably won't want to go down to League One. He should be on the bench for me, 100%. I'm not sure that Mark Bunn is a better goalkeeper than Jed Steer, and Jed Steer is of a better age to gain some experience and get some minutes. Probably, well, maybe when the FA Cup starts, Jed Steer might get a game, but I think we've got the backup goalkeeper that we need. We're just choosing not to put him on the bench.
Just a quick word on the line of goalkeepers. I do think that Bellini's improved tenfold in the past few weeks, and he looks far more comfortable in goal for us, and I think that's a really good sign. And he looks a snip at $2.5 million, I'd argue, at the moment.
I think you got to remember, when people come into new teams, they very rarely settle straight away. Even players that sometimes hit the ground running as soon as they come into a club, they'll then go and have a little bit of a sticky patch. I can't think of an example off the top of my head, but I feel that happens quite frequently. I think Galini, I've never had a massive issue with him. I know we had those couple of moments that cost us goals, but I genuinely just think they were very, very unfortunate for him, and that 9 times out of 10, those things that happen don't happen, and you don't get punished for a mistake like that. But to be fair, I think he showed good strength of character, good mentality in the way that he's bounced back and turned around. And there's been lots of games where I think he's made very important saves at important times. I mean, he made the big save from Magoma against Birmingham on Sunday. He made some good saves against Wolves. I think he will turn into a very, very good goalkeeper. I think he could potentially be our goalkeeper for the next 10 years. He's got everything that you need as a keeper, and I think he will only improve.
I agree with that.
Good.
People are saying about recalling the likes of Gill and Verity. Verity will not come back. He's haunted by his experience at Villa Park. If you haven't seen his comments in the press, he said he'd rather have joined Leicester than Villa, and he really wasn't happy during his time at Villa Park. So he won't be coming back to Villa Park. No chance. Absolutely no chance.
I can't believe that he'd rather win the league than come bottom.
I know.
Scary.
Devastation. But anyway, as for Carlos Hill, that's an interesting one for me. I think that he could work in the Championship. A few people are saying about players being lightweight in the Championship and it not working, but Fernando Forestier is the prime example of somebody that's quite small, working quite well in the Championship. Apart from that, I don't know any prime examples of players
Barry
that are
Bannan.
small. Barry Bannan, yeah, another one there. So apart from, I don't know. Carlos Hill, would I recall him? Yes, I would. I'd give him just to see how he does in the Championship, just get the extra man in there, just in case. And I know he's been struggling at Deportivo La Coruña this season as well. So I don't think he rejected joining Villa as well.
Did he want out, though? Didn't he desperately want to go?
Yeah. You're right, Aidan.
What's going on?
More people just wondering in. It's fine.
Okay. Casual.
Do you want to do one more question?
Yeah.
Final one then. Score predictions for Saturday then.
2-0 Villa.
I'm going to go 3-0 Villa. Fan cams will be back. I don't know if I'll be there doing them, but definitely be back with fan cams for the Blackburn game.
I'm there.
100%. That's good to see.
I'll be there, and Dan Rollinson will be there, so I imagine we'll get some fan cams done after the game.
So yeah, if you did enjoy I think we are done. So fan cams will be back. If you did enjoy the video, drop us a like below, comment on the video, and subscribe.
And you can go and see that bird now.